Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I know it's been a while when we're still doing Halloween and I'm not doing the Action Marathon in June next month. I decided I'd do this one as one-off Action Marathon. That's right, a one-off Action Marathon. And for anyone that wonders what I'm blabbering about, I'm on about this movie, Dead Heat. Why not? Dead Heat. For 1988, Dead Heat. This to me is like what would happen if Lethal Weapon with Ritz and Murdoch was to accidentally do an horror halfway. Think about it. So it's sort of like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, all your classic zombie movies, all joined into one, and you've got Ritz and Murdoch fighting zombies. That's what it reminds me of. It's like what would happen if by the end of it they're both turning into zombies, but dud zombies instead of the universe. That's what Dead Heat is. It is. Because what I mean by that is, okay, you get two different cops. I think one's called Tubbs and one is called Gigolo, right? And you got a day opening. This was the time of New World Pictures. So it's at the time it's raking it in, you know. One day before this, they did the original classic Hellraiser. Then the same year when this was being made, they did Hellraiser 2, Hellbound. They did movies, let's say like, let me think, Avaya, Princess of Darkness with the beautiful Avaya. Very funny, very attractive. And then we had a nice bid. Moving on. And you had movies like The Slugs, what was a well-known horror movie at that era, very popular. You had the follow-up to Killer Tomatoes, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, very, very funny B-movie. First film that I believe George Clooney made an appearance in. So you had a lot of these movies, what New World was doing, you know what I mean? You had loads. So at the time, this was to me like what would happen if Lethal Weapon was to turn into an horror movie. And it is. I think it is. So like I say, without going on, you got it opening up. I love the way it always opened up New World Pictures. It's hard to sew it, but if you was around that era, then it brings memories here. And then you've got a bit of New York, far distance of New York City, which I think is pretty good for the budget of this film. That is pretty good shot of New York City. It looks like the opening of Dyers, but I just love the way it's shot. And you get these typical bank robbers, and they're robbing a jewellery shop, if I remember right. Then that's when Tubbs and Gigolo first appear. Got one, very typical, he's all smart, it looks more like a businessman, a bit like Tango and Tass. And then you've got another one, left attack, more Tassero, more the funny man, and another one's more the serious man. A bit like that. But I do love the bit of the robbing the stop, and two of the baddies get killed. One of them's quite funny, he drops a bomb, and the acting's a bit laughable. Goes, uh-oh, and then balls up. Seriously, I'm not making it up. Anyone seen Dead Heat? Uh-oh, and then thinking balls up. If you've never seen Dead Heat, I would check it out. It's very hard to get on DVD in this country, which is downright criminal. But it's a damn good one, and it's a damn shame they don't make films like this. This is why I did not want to see a new Halloween film. Halloween kills my ass. Didn't want to see another Hellraiser. The only difference is it's not a man now, it's not a male pinhead, it's a female. Wow. Do you not want to see another remake of an Elm Street film, or another freaking Lethal Weapon 5 for two old men, or Indiana Jones, an old man so old he can't even lift his freaking rip up. That's for CGI, no doubt. This is why, if you hear a lot of noise, it's peeing it down. So if you hear a bit of noise, you've got to understand it's totally peeing it down today. Beautiful. But moving on from that, this to me, back in the late 80s, had more action and more going for it than some of the garbage they waste on money these days. Because I'll get into the movie anyway. So they kill the bank robbers, but then they realise these bank robbers were already dead. They were dead. I think right there, could be right, we're on. It could be Tubbs had an ex-girlfriend and she works in a mortuary dealing with autopsies. Great job, but we all got to do it one day. You know, it's a job. And so she's got a report. She does some old photos that these robbers have already been dead. They were on my lap a couple of months ago. So how the hell could they be robbing a bank when they're brown bread? How could they rob a bank? The brown bread? And we've got one guy who also works in the mortuary who I've got a feeling is the boss of the place. That's funny because he's wearing a wig, and he's always wearing a hat, right? Which stands feels like halfway in the film. And so basically it's a restitution at that point, you know what I mean? So they go to this lab where they believe they've erected this thing, it's like a beauty thing where they believe these robbers were working for, right? And this old woman, really nice to look at, like pretty, but a good sister. I'll have to get to that in a minute. But halfway through the film, remember rightly, Chubbs gets stuck in this elevator thing, this machine that sucks the life out of you, and he accidentally dies. And they found out they've got this machine that can resurrect you. So they resurrect Chubbs. Great news, he got resurrected. But the thing is, it's not resurrected. It's not. He's still dead. That's why the movie's called Dead Eat. He's dead. He's brown, thinking bread. Dead. Dead as a toenail, as the saying goes. So, done a bit like Robocop, but more like he's trying to find out who set him up, who killed him, sort of like that. And so, but the thing is, he's slowly rotting away. So I don't love that idea. So he's meeting zombie sort of people, all badly mutilated. There's some in the swimming pool and the fighting. There's a funny bit where he's getting shot up, blood streaks everywhere. But don't get, it's already dead. He's dead. So he's sort of like half dead, half alive. But he's got so many hours until he rots away. And that's what I love about Dead Eat. It's a fast-paced film. It gets started. It doesn't get boring, and it doesn't overdo its welcome neither. There's a scene in it where, remember, like the Gigolo gets killed, right? So he's dead. But there's a good bit of horror moment in the film. Good bit of horror moment because remember, like Chubbs sees the dirtiest prayer. She's just had a shower, and it turns out she's already dead. She died. But they resurrected her in a way that it won't finger, but it turns out they lied to her. She starts rotting away in front of Chubbs and dies. If I could show it without getting in trouble with copyright, I would do. It's on YouTube anyway, but it makes me laugh. I can't do it, but apparently other people can. Type in Dead Eat, type in Do Rotting Away or Bits from Dead Eat, and I'll type it on YouTube, it will show that scene, and it is brilliant. Good practical effect, really do some. Why are they not movies with effects like that nowadays? There you go, there's your answer. So he's going after the baddies, he gets set up, you find out the one who worked in the mall was in on it. He was doing these experiments to bring back famous rich people. And by the way, you do get Vincent Price in this. Vincent Price in this is a delight. Which is very funny because a couple of years after he did this, he did pass away in the early 90s. But I've got ideas. They're not like he's got ideas. He's rich, died, and he's also going to be resurrected, right? But there's a bit of it was wondering, did he fake his death or did he get resurrected? No, I think might he did get resurrected and it worked on him, right? But for some reason it doesn't work on anyone else. They're going to what? And this big machine, so this is a bit of good twist here because Chubbs gets captured, like I say. The setup is death. He comes out of a body bag, all burned up. Don't forget, he can't die. That looks a good bit of effect there. And he goes in this I think he steals a piece motorbike, goes after the baddies, and that's when you find out Gigolo has also been resurrected. So he's not dead. So that's what I mean by it's like Lethal Weapon. What would happen if Vitz and Murtaugh was to turn into zombies halfway through the film? Because they're both undead. They destroy the machine. The bad guy kills himself, but they resurrect him. And they'll resurrect him again, and it makes him blow up. And it's just a bit of horror. It's comedy. It's action. I do believe there was a deleted scene where, if I remember rightly, I'm not sure, I think it could be Chubbs has a nightmare, which is a bit in the film where he's brushing his hair and he sees a mirror of a zombie thing. It freaks him out and it's just his imagination. I do believe there was going to be a bit of a nightmare scene, which was sadly was deleted out. But the film is good. I do think at the end though it's a little bit wooden. I think the actor that plays Gigolo's a bit wooden because he just walks up to him and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're both dead. We'll go to the pub. We'll have a beer later." All right, he doesn't say that, but he might as well say that. You know what I mean? But the walk off at the end, you got the idea. You see the light sign in there. Now they're going to the light, And it ends with this beautiful theme tune, Go Dead Eat. You've never seen Dead Eat, people, check it out. If you can ever find it, which is hard in the UK, which pisses me off. You probably can find it on an old VHS somewhere, but finding it on DVD, best of luck. Really annoys me. They waste money on rubbish these days, but oh no, we can't put a dud film on DVD or Blu-ray. Too hard these days. But it is a dud one. It's action, it's comedy, it's horror, all rolled into one, and it has a hell of a lot more going for it than the rubbish you see nowadays. But that's Dead Eat. I love it. Why not? 10-star rating into them. Be smart, be safe, and hopefully in a few weeks have a happy Halloween.